had so many incredible releases, but am I right in saying that Save Me is only your second number one?
Yeah, I know. I was trying to figure that out too. And I think it is, yeah, it's crazy, right?
That is mind-blowing.
I thought a boneless would be up there too, but no beef, boneless. There's like a couple of sleepers. Because like those, like when they're sleepers, they could never be number ones, you know?
Yeah, but they are so good.
Yeah, it's wild.
Well, congratulations on that. Welcome back to America's Dance 30. It's great seeing you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, as always, when we chat, you've got so much going on, including your brand new album, HiroQuest. Congratulations on that.
Thank you. Thank you. I have the CD here. I just got some. We actually made CDs.
What is that?
Yeah, exactly. So it's HiroQuest Genesis. 26. I mean, it's hard to see because of the lighting, but there's 26 tracks on here.
Wow.
21 are tracks. 5 are melody, as I call them, melody, like 45-second kind of introductions into these factions, the world. I mean, you can see all the different characters on there. There's 64 different characters that we made trading cards. And a few of the CDs have the trading cards inside.
That is amazing.
It's cool to include, the trading card world that I love. And I'm building my own world, the HiroQuest trading cards, and including them with the CDs, with the music.
Now, is there one of the cards in that one?
Yes. Yeah. We're going to open it right now.
Oh, hell yeah.
Ready? You want to do this?
Yeah, let's do it. You have no idea what card is in this.
I have no idea. There's 64 different cards. And, like I said, it's like a limited release that we did for the fans. There's only 30,000 cards made. So we're going to see what's inside.
Now, with all of your ventures, how do you stay straight, like having your hands in everything? How do you do it? It's all about passion, man. I'm fucking excited right now. I can't wait to open the shit. Okay, here we go. Okay, here it is. So that's the inside. That's the booster pack. Wow.
Okay, so the pack right here. There's a CD. Look how colorful this thing is. It's pretty cool, right? So this is the pack. HiroQuest. There's a card in here.
Oh my God, that is so cool.
Okay, we're gonna open it right now for the first time.
And this is one of the limited 30,000, right?
Yes, yeah. So this is the first set of HiroQuest, and you can find them on eBay now. But this is like for the fans that they got it. They were able to get the first one. Here it is. Take a look. Let's take a look. So this is the back, and we're gonna flip it. So we want 54 cards. Ready?
Oh my God! Wow.
So this is a Hodag in the faction Tarabans, which is like a robotic faction. So I mean, I don't know, it's hard to see with this but see all the hollow foils, like beautiful hollow foil.
Dude, so much detail on that. Well,
this is a Hodag of the faction Tarabans.
Be careful how you're touching it, because that needs to be.
I know. I gotta keep it pristine, so I gotta get it graded by PSA.
Exactly. That's incredible. Awesome. Thank you for opening it with us.
Wow. I'm gonna sign it, and I'm gonna put America's Dance 30 on it, and I'll sign it right here. America's Dance 30, Steve Aoki.
Dude.
And we're gonna grade it because it's a moment. It's a moment. It's part of the interview.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. It is history. Mark it down right now.
I'll do it.
Dude, that card is beautiful. Holy
I know. Cool, right?
How does it feel like knowing that that's yours, like that you did that?
I know. It's really I'm writing right now. No, it's like best feeling ever.
As somebody that's been in music for so long, venturing into something else that is so artistic and so successful now, that's got to be revitalizing. It
really is. Like it's like, I one thing I learned is that life is fluid. You can't just it's not just because I'm a musician or producer or DJ doesn't mean that's the only thing I do. I'm gonna always the choose your own adventure in life of where you're gonna go, where the question where you're gonna be in 5 years. The fact that you can never truly answer it is beautiful.
That's so true.
It's a rabbit hole of exponential. It's like it's a chess game. There's so many different variations of life that you can go down. So don't just say focus on one. Like use your core to throw you into the throngs of life. But man, passion leads you left. Go left, please go. Don't always go right. You know what I mean? Like change it up.
Such great advice. Such great advice. Now,
So
with all the songs on there and with the trading cards and the characters, how long have you been working on this?
Since COVID, 2 years in the making. But I mean, I've made like probably over 100 songs. So,
oh my God.
I mean, I went all in, you know, like, and I just had fun with it because, like, for me, it's like making music is fun, but also world building and building a brand, and like that whole world is exciting for me. Like, I went deep in the trading card world, and I mean, I'm having so much fun building out the set. Like 64 different cards, 30,000 CDs sold in 5 hours.
Is this your biggest one yet?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like, I think like the most amount of CDs I've ever sold, even when CDs were selling for one of my albums, like, was probably Wonderland. I mean, that was probably a couple thousand tops, you know, and that was over a course of time. This was like, we told the fans, like, hey, at a specific time and a specific date in June, you could pre-order a CD that comes with one card, and we sold 30,000. Wow.
That is wild. Now, do you have a favorite song off of the album?
I mean, you know, that's the interesting thing about HiroQuest is that it is very, you know, my sound has become very global. You know, I have Latin, hip hop, and I have a lot of rock on this album, a lot more rock than usual, which is great because I was in COVID and I was picking up a guitar more. I was jamming more. I wasn't like pressured with deadlines, and you know, I got to do what I used to do before I was DJ. It was just jam out and get some live instrumentation going on. But I would say Movie Star is one of my favorites. It's such a lighthearted, fun song. I love working with Global Dan, and I finally got to work with Mod Sun, who was, you know, kind of leading the charge of this new alternative sound of like alternative and hip hop kind of merging together. And we shot a sick music video to it too. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about that one.
Well, I can't wait to hear all of them. And before we talk about Save Me, which is also on the album, let's get to know Steve Aoki a little better once again with Finky's Firsts.
Okay.
Do you remember the first time you told your parents that you wanted to be a DJ?
No, because I was too old. Because, like, you know, like when you're a teenager, that's when you're like, hey, Mom, Dad, I want to be a DJ. They're like, shut up. No, because, like, I became a DJ. I was a late bloomer. So I started DJing after I left college. And I hung up the guitar and the mic and being in a band. So I was already an adult. So they couldn't stop me. You know what I mean? Like, I was like in my early 20s in LA trying to like make my way, you know, in that crazy city. They're like, what are you doing in LA? I'm like, music stuff. DJing in bars in front of 30 people. They're like, what? $40, Dad. Like, leave me alone.
Oh my God, that is hilarious. Now, speaking of playing for only 30 some people, do you remember your first show?
I think my first, well, the guy that got me into DJing was a guy named Callie DeWitt. He was a bartender at a bar called Three of Clubs. It was on Vine in Santa Monica. And they don't have I don't think they even have a dance floor. It's just like bar stools. Like, it's proper bar.
Right.
And he was my friend. He was a punk guy. And he's like, he knew I had a sick record collection. So he was like, yo, Steve, I know you have like the most insane vinyl collection. I'm like, I do. I have like the most craziest hardcore punk vinyl collection just because I acquired from all my friends that left college. Whenever my friends left college, I'll be like, yo, I'll safeguard your records. Just leave them with me. And I like literally became a hoarder of vinyl. And then I like organized them and like, you know, categorized them. I just like was obsessed with my vinyl collection. So people knew that I had this fucking the bee's knees of vinyl. And he's like, yo, come and spin some vinyl at my bar and I'll show you how to do it. It's really easy. And I was like, oh, really? Like, because I mean, see, I had a record player, right, to play my vinyl. I didn't know what a turntable was. I mean, I knew what turntables were, but like I never played 2 of them. I just played 1 record, finished the whole side, and I'm
then
done.
Go to the next one, right?
Yeah. So like that was back then. And then he's like, listen, it's just like, it's so easy. There's one on one side, one on the other side, and a mixer. And you play 1 record, you turn down the volume on the mixer, turn up the volume on the other side, play the other side, and people at the bar listen to your music. I'm like, what? That's what I do at my home. I do this in my apartment. Like, let's fucking go. Let's do this. So I brought all my hardcore records there. And I mean, obviously I didn't get paid, you know. He gave me a bar tab, you know. And I was like, I sat there cross-legged, you know, drinking some tea. I had like a little Jack and Coke, played some hardcore records in the corner, and the bar literally hated me because I was playing like they're literally like I just want to enjoy my beer and not listen to fucking screaming punk hardcore weird shit. Like I can't enjoy this beer and my bartender friend was like, yeah, let's go.
It's all his fault.
Yeah, basically that was the first gig.
You were playing for one person.
Yeah, for my friend and me, so 2 people. Really.
Where is he now? Do you still talk with him?
Yeah, he's like he's a big designer now. He designed Donda stuff for Kanye. He's a music curator. He had his own label. Without him, I wouldn't be a DJ for sure. So I have to big shout out to Cali DeWitt, Mike DeWitt. He goes by Cali, like California. And he has like thank you and you're welcome on his hands, you know, because he's a bartender at that time. Nicest guy in the world. He didn't have to help me. I was like some random kid moving into LA. And he was like, hey, come to my bar and like play some music. And so I'll never forget that. Just a genuinely beautiful human being.
That is so incredible. Well, Speaking of your shows, if you are ever up front at a Steve Aoki show, most likely you are leaving with a piece of cake on you. Do you remember the first time you said to management, I want to start caking people?
Yeah, I never told them. I just did it. Okay, so this is like at a time. This was 11 years ago. 2011. The first documented caking on YouTube is May of 2011. I have to just call it that was the first time because I don't really remember it. It has to be around that period of time because it was inspired by a music video of artists on Dimmock, and that song came out in February 2011. The song is called "Turn Up the Volume" by Autoerotic. So I remember, I'm a marketing guy.
Right.
Like, you know, at the heart of hearts, I'm an A&R and a marketing guy. And I'm always trying to think of how to boost up the artist on Dimmock, you know?
Right.
And that song went viral because of the music video, because the music video were these cakes exploding in people's faces in slow motion high def. Really fucking amazing. It's like, so it's just like awesome. And I was like, oh, it'd be so cool to cake someone while I'm playing the song. So I remember, you know, I would go to in the beginning, I would go to the bakeries myself because I only traveled with a videographer. I didn't even have a tour manager back then. You know, this is like very early Steve Aoki days of, you know, I toured alone for 300 shows a year. Like I was a road warrior, you know, I could do it on my own. And finally I bring a guy to do some content with me and we go to the bakery and I'm like, okay, we're going to draw all the stuff on the cake. And then, you know, I'm going to cake someone, see how it goes. And I mean, that video, you can see it yourself. It's on YouTube. I go up there and I'm just kind of like showing the cake to the crowd. People are like confused except for one guy, you know, and that guy in the front, just like, it's my birthday. You know, I am positioned perfectly in the front row for you to cake me in the face. I get him good. I mean, he's eating off the stage. His friends off the stage. It was a sight to see and a memory that he and the whole club and myself won't forget. So, you know, 20,000 cakes later, here we are.
Now, 20,000 cakes, Jesus. Now, 11 years later, has your technique changed from that first one? Because, you know, I've been caked by you, and you're very polite about how you cake people. So has your technique changed from that first one?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely can like throw a cake pretty far, but those cakes are you know, there's a 6-page cake writer to those cakes. You know, it's elaborate. It's like, it's not just a Costco cake, you know.
Nothing against Costco.
Yeah, but like, you know, sometimes like they don't follow the rider and they give me a Costco cake or whatever. Then like, you know, I'm just gonna cake you right there like that. But like, if they give me a Steve Aoki cake, which is what they should be giving me, it's gonna be like a pillow of magic.
Oh, dude, if that isn't your next branding, I don't know what is. A pillow of magic. And as somebody that has been caked, I will say that it is a pillow of magic. Now, you've recently partnered with DraftKings as well for Rainmasters. Do you remember the first football game you went to?
Yeah, well, see, I'm a Southern California kid, so it would have to be the LA Raiders when the Raiders were there. So it'd be like late 80s, early 90s, around that time. And I mean, it's funny because as a kid, my first football team that I aligned myself to was the Raiders, because that's our team. You know, it's like I'm SoCal, and here I am in Vegas, and I'm back. You know, Vegas Raiders, baby. You know,
and that stadium is insane in Vegas.
It's amazing. It's incredible. It gets like so much attention. It's like so technologically tuned. It's a beautiful stadium, and you know, I love my Raiders colors. You know, the black and the gray. And you know, I hope Derek Carr takes it down. Like, he's such an underrated quarterback. You know, I have a lot of faith in him. I mean, people love Herbert and Burrow, obviously Brady and Mahomes, but let's go Carr. Let's go Carr. Come on, Derek. Let's do this.
Well, finally, in Finky's first, you are all about living on the edge, including cliff diving. Do you remember the first life-defying thing you ever did? One
of the first things I remember, because I was always just like, you know, just like a really bouncy kid. And I remember I was rollerblading with my friends. I was probably, I don't know, I had to be like 10 or something. And we made this jump into like a grassy hill, and people would just be flying off this jump into the grassy hill, like landing. And, you know, like this was like, I think it's even before I even went like snowboarding. Cause I used to snowboard like a demon. But this time, you know, all you care about in life is showing up your friends. You want to like go bigger and harder and badder than your friends. That's all you care about.
Right.
It doesn't, what else matters. It's just going like, I'm going to go bigger than you. And like all my friends are just flying off this thing. And I'm like, okay, I got to go the biggest. I got to go the biggest. I'm also the lightest. I'm like 90 pounds, you know, wet. So I fly. I'm like going as fast as I can. I'm sprinting in the thing. Everyone's just like, oh my God, why is he going? I'm like, I'm going to show everyone. I literally go off this thing, and I just immediately fly like a bird. And all of a sudden, I'm like, my legs are over my head.
Oh my God.
And on the back of my head on the grass. And I kind of come to, and literally I had amnesia.
Holy crap.
Yeah, I had no idea where I was. Like, plus I was using my friend's skates. They're like I remember his skates were you know, his feet were, he's big. It's like, I'm Japanese. So I'm like so much smaller than everyone. So I'm using these massive skates. I'm literally like, where am I? I went to the hospital, and then like I finally came to, like, as a short-term amnesia. That was the scariest. Like, it was so scary. Like, I just was flying like a bird, and then I'm like, I'm not doing that again. But I tell you, Brian, I didn't learn my lesson, because just like once I'm like all recovered, I'm like, let's go again, but not on roller skates. I gave up the rollerblading and went to skateboarding.
Dude, isn't it insane the crazy shit we would do as a kid and survive doing it?
Yeah, like it's literally like we're rubber bands. We're just like bouncing into things, and like I wish I had the cells and the rejuvenation of a kid now, you know, because like it takes so long to heal from like jumping off the stage and hurting my knees and stuff. You know what I mean? So,
now, have you ever skydove?
Yeah. I skydived with Red Bull, which was actually very cool. because they kind of like float around you and hold your hands and do the whole thing. That was very cool. I skydived in Dubai.
Oh,
beautiful,
wow.
right above the Palm. And it's the longest free fall. And I skydived over the Strip off a helicopter. That was sketch because you're standing on the ledge, and it's scarier than a plane, because on a plane you don't have any time to even think. All of a sudden, like, because I'm always tandem, right? So,
right, me too.
Like, by the time you're on the edge, you're like 1, 2, you're like out. You're like, oh my god, I'm out. Like, you don't have time to think. On the helicopter ledge, you're sitting there like you think like, if I fall, I'm dead. You know, you're like right on the ledge. So that was a bit scary.
And I wouldn't think that now I've never been in a helicopter, but I wouldn't think that it feels as stable as when you're in the plane. Like the plane is just so much, even though it's a small little biplane, it's still, I feel like, safer than a helicopter.
Absolutely. The helicopter is just because you're so open, right?
Yeah.
And like once your feet are on that ledge and you're like I'm like, my hands are getting clammy just thinking about it. Like it was scary. It's like far more terrifying.
Well, let's talk about something that's not terrifying. Your number one, Save Me with HRVY. Congratulations on that. How did the song come together with HRVY? How was it born?
HRVY actually wrote the vocals to that, the melody to that a while back. And I was sitting on that vocal for a while. And with certain tracks, it's like, you know, I did multiple productions for that one, you know, and I wanted to make sure it was the right production, and I took time on it. And I think that's the interesting thing about certain core, like the certain foundation of certain songs, is that if you could sit on it for 6 months or whatever, and it still sounds fresh, it still sounds new, and I keep playing for different people, like different periods of time, it's like a fine wine theory. Like if it's really good, it's going to be better. I mean, that vocal is like undeniable. I absolutely love his lyrics. I love his melody, and I need to match that drop. I need to match that like same energy. And I took time on it. You know, it took like a good couple of years on that record.
Oh,
to make sure that it was at its place. Yeah, because I have I still have like songs and melodies that are literally 6 years old in my computer. You know. And if they're that good, like they stay in this kind of vault. And some of the songs I have to let go because the songwriters are like, you can't hold it for this long.
Was this one of the first songs that you worked on for the album since you'd been sitting on it for so long?
Yeah, that's the thing is like there are songs that predated like the conception of what HiroQuest is. I'm sure that was one of them. Yeah, for sure.
How many different versions were there? I'd love to find out, like from when you first started working on it with all the tweaks until you finally mastered it. What V was it?
Probably 12.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, that's not bad. It's not like Pursuit of Happiness. That was like 60.
Oh my God. Wow.
That's because Kid Cudi is like, change the hi-hat, you know, like I mean, he was really detailed, you know. It's great to work with someone that's like such a keen ear.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned that. First of all, I mean, that's obviously an incredible classic that will never get old, but I did a clean version of it because I wanted it for Evolution, and that took me like 20 or 25 different takes on it, so I could just imagine.
Like, bleep that. It's like right before the big moment. It's like, bleep that, you know what I mean? Like, how do you do it? Like, that's what everyone... You know, everyone in their car is like saying that while they're driving, like, you know, and just like screaming that.
Well, dude, the entire time I'm editing it, I'm like, Steve, damn it. Well, congratulations on your number one with Save Me with HRVY. Congratulations on HiroQuest. That is so incredible. Thank you so much for your time on America's Dance 30.
Thank you.
Thank you.